about the momentum from the Duluth series, Coach, going into this weekend to Western Michigan?
Yeah, great. Obviously, great weekend for the guys to build off the St. Cloud weekend and keep it going and find a way to get 2 big wins. Yeah, then just got to keep going. Got to stay after it here. Obviously, going to a tough environment at Western, but one that I think we like playing in as well. So it'll be a fun road trip here. Get on the road and get to work.
What's the team been doing well the last couple of weeks? Seems like since that Denver series, they've really picked it up.
Yeah, again, I think we've been playing some, there's always highs and lows, and I think we've been playing some pretty consistent hockey here for quite some time, as you mentioned, with the exception of a couple of games. And so I think just really sticking to the game plan. I think they're finding out, what brings us success and what doesn't. And I think when you learn through discovery a little bit too, and you start to get reinforced when you play a certain way and good things happen, that's the most powerful form of learning. And so I think really guys have bought into what makes us successful in this conference and really executing that on a consistent basis. So again, lots of good energy right now, and got to keep going.
What do you expect to be different this time around from when we faced them earlier in the season?
Yeah, just watching on video, I mean, they're a good team, obviously. They like to go north in a hurry. They're a high transition team, and their D are tight gapped and don't give you a lot of space out there. Then combine that with their rink where it's even tighter in the defensive zone or offensive zone. So it's, they're a good team, but so are we, and it's going to be a good battle.
Coach, what are some of the characteristics of that ice surface? 200 by 85,
Yeah.
the corners seem shallow, and as you mentioned with transition, is it the neutral zone that's somewhat smaller, and maybe the offensive zones or offensive/defensive zones are bigger, and that maybe ease that transition they like to play?
Yeah, it's one of the few rinks, I think, that's more the traditional style rinks where they used to have the smaller in zones and the bigger neutral zone. And so they're one of those rinks that I think still, again, I haven't had the tape measure out there, but I think it's one of those rinks that has the bigger neutral zone and the smaller in zone. So guys are, from the blue line, you're a little bit, your shot's closer to the net, and ultimately in the neutral zone as well, you have a little bit more room for transition. So definitely that's one of their key points of their team, and something we have to be aware of.
Coach, you mentioned a little bit of the mental fatigue last week, playing the gauntlet that is the NCHC. How nice was it to get one of those 5-1 wins like we did on Friday night there?
Yeah, I'd like another one. I got to say that again, right? Because that was nice for that to happen. And yeah, just to get a chance to catch your breath a little bit there. But again, I think this time of year now, and I think when you get a couple wins, it gives you a little bit of energy, obviously, as well too. So we got to keep that, and I think it's really important for load management and just energy management at this time of year as well too. We got a bye coming up after this weekend here, so want to make sure we're finishing strong. We skated on Monday this week. We were thinking about a day off, decided to skate and kind of stick with it here, but trying to be a little bit shorter. And we got big time workers too. We got skill ice, and we're almost trying to get the guys off the skill ice right now. We still got guys going out there wanting to work on their game, wanting to get better. And again, I think that's a testament to why we have so many guys that are developing here and getting better. But something we got to be aware of and make sure we keep that positive energy up here and keep a little fun around the rink, but also use the rest to our advantage here coming up following this weekend.
Simon got his 1,000th save on Friday night.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fanfare around that, but
Sure.
How has his play developed over this season, and what have you seen from him that encourages you going forward?
Yeah, it was good. I thought it was really nice to get him in the net there on Friday there and have a good solid game, and then obviously get him go back to back again here and have another solid game there and get a couple wins under his belt. I think that's always nice to kind of just build that confidence up. And again, he's been really consistent for us since he's been here mentally. And again, he's only a sophomore too, right? So he's figuring out a little bit too, right? Going through the grind of the gauntlet, as Austin mentioned there, and how to respond to when you play those top end teams and then maybe give up a few goals and how to respond from that. So he's done a great job just learning and growing, and we talked last week too. Him and I like to talk and just kind of talked about just going through that a little bit and how you have to rest when it's time to rest, but then when it's time to work, you got to get after it. And I just feel like he's really continues to grow and develop and just get better and better.
Coach, you're trying to get into the top 4 in the league. Are the guys looking at the standings at all? Because Western Michigan's the team that's ahead of them right now.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Again, everybody's aware there, but even for myself, try not to get too overly focused on it. You start playing the number game, and the bottom line is to win. So that's what we focus on. What gives us the best chance to be successful this weekend? Let's put all our energy into that, and I think our guys are pretty good about that stuff as well too. It can be a little bit mentally daunting if you start to try to do the math and who you got to beat and how other teams are doing instead of just focusing everything you can on trying to win a hockey game.